What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of your Mystro Weekly Roundup. I am Randy Shear, also known as Uberman from YouTube, and I'm here in collaboration with Mystro, the app that everybody loves to automate your ride-sharing experience. Today is Sunday. It's January 13th, 2019, and we're going to jump right into this. Number one on my list is some statistics. A third of Americans use ride-hail. Uber and Lyft need more. That's the title of this from Wired. And here we go. Have you been inside an Uber? How about a Lyft or another ride-hailing service? If the answer is duh, rethink your sense of superiority, because you're in the minority. According to a new poll conducted by the PEW Research Center, just 36% of American adults say that they have used ride-hailing services. 61% said that they have heard of the services, but they haven't actually taken a ride yet. The remaining 3% say that they haven't heard of them at all. That comports mostly with other surveys conducted in the past year about Uber and Lyft ridership, which have found that between 24.4 and 43% of the U.S. population has used apps to summon rides. Though those numbers may seem underwhelming, they actually mark a substantial jump in ridership and name recognition for the ride-hailing services. When PEW, a nonpartisan research organization, ran an identical survey in 2015 of Americans 18 and older, it found that just 15% had used the services, and a third, 33%, had no idea what Uber and Lyft actually were. The article continues to say that Uber and Lyft undercut the prices of many taxi services, expanding the market of those taking one-off rides, but remaining too pricey for some low-income households. Young people are early adopters, meaning it has taken a while for Uber use to trickle down to the older generation, and the services are still far from available everywhere. The business model is hard to work in far-flung rural areas where riders might have to wait tens of minutes for a pickup and drivers get fewer fares. That part's okay for the ride-hail giants. There's still riders and markets to capture and to fight over. Number two on my list is an article from SF Gate, and it says SFO air traffic controllers reportedly consider driving for Lyft and Uber to cope with the government shutdown. The nation's airports remain open despite the partial government shutdown, and air traffic controllers are working even though they aren't receiving a paycheck Friday, the first missed payday for federal workers since the start of the closure 21 days ago. At San Francisco International Airport, controller Frederick Nojok told KQED the staff is beginning to feel the strain in a region where housing is expensive and many workers live paycheck to paycheck. I've even heard a couple of people come to me and say that they want to work for Lyft and Uber, in addition to coming to work and working air traffic. While Lyft can't confirm whether any air traffic controllers have joined their driving fleet and Uber declined to comment entirely, Lyft released a statement welcoming all furloughed employees in need of extra income to drive for the rideshare company. Of course they did. Driving is a reliable way to make ends meet and can help these workers fill in the gap during this uncertain time, the statement reads. So that actually brings me to item number 3 on my list, which is from WTOP, and it says, "The calls just stopped coming. Uber drivers hit hard by the record government shutdown." So these two articles kind of go hand in hand, and it says Washington. Federal workers are some of the hardest hit by the partial government shutdown, but those who depend on their business, including rideshare drivers, are also feeling the impact. Like Chu, a student at George Mason University majoring in Russian studies, is an Uber driver in Fairfax County. Driving for Uber during the evening rush has helped Cho pay the bills. Before the shutdown, we were seeing high demand all across the district. But lately, he's been feeling the impact of the shutdown. The riders just started disappearing, and the calls just stopped coming in. Instead of making around $100 to $120 a night, he's now making half of that if he's lucky. So, like I said, the government shutdown, this is really interesting because it's kind of a double-edged sword. You get a lot of people this is going to be particular for markets that have a lot of government employees, obviously, but you get a lot of government employees that are looking to subsidize their at least temporarily lost income by doing something like Uber and Lyft. But by doing that, you get a bunch of new drivers on the platform that actually oversaturate the market. And on top of that, a lot of the government employees that would typically be using Uber and Lyft to get around are no longer using the service because they didn't get paid. So very difficult times during the shutdown. Hopefully all that gets resolved soon. We're not going to get into politics on here, but hopefully we can get all of that resolved soon, get everybody back to work and get everybody paid, and everybody can go back to being happy again. That's going to be it for this edition of the Mystro Weekly Industry Roundup. I appreciate you. Mystro appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Stay safe out there, everybody. We will catch you next Sunday in the next one.